What's going on, guys? This is Dr. Vol coming at you today on this like January 6th or something. I figured I would do something a little different today since football season has come to an end for my Vols and we've only got one college football game left, the national championship. I figured I would review Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. There's my posters I got from both the last movies here at the Princess Theater in Lexington, Tennessee. Um, so, from what I hear, the Star Wars community is pretty split on this movie. Now, I don't go into Star Wars expecting to see um, a gripping drama, really, with the best writing storyline that I've ever seen in my life. So maybe that's why I go in there and I've enjoyed all three of the films. Now you can looking back in retrospect and pick some things apart, but as far as the overall movie, I think in this movie they corrected a lot of things um, that they where the storyline was going off. They corrected a lot of things from the previous two films, especially the last film that I like. I like the direction they went. I loved seeing Kylo Ren's character and his arc. He was definitely the most impressive performance in the film that I saw. Uh, wow, it still blew me away because I had kind of watched a little bit of the trailers and I heard the Palpatine laugh, but I really wasn't quite sure that Palpatine was coming back. And it blew me away. I still didn't know up until the moment uh, who Rey was. And so, spoiler alert, anybody that hasn't seen the movie, you probably want to stop watching now. Um, so, it really blew me away finding out that Rey was Palpatine's granddaughter. Uh, I love the fight scenes. I love the scene out there in the ocean when Kylo and Rey fight, and then Kylo looks like he's fixing to get the best of her, and um, Princess Leia uses the last bit of her force that she has, uh, life force she has, to reach out to Kylo and kind of snaps him back into himself, where he becomes Ben Solo again. And at that moment, Rey was able to stab him with a lightsaber, and then she used Force Heal to then heal him. That scene sticks out to me. That whole dynamic they had I thought they just did a great job with Rey and Ben there. And then the scene later on, once Rey is, found out where Palpatine was, and she's already there, and Ben's coming to come and help her. And the scene where she hands him the lightsaber, and they use that power they have. That was awesome. It just took my breath away. I was just like, "Whoa!" I was stoked. Um, I hated to see, I hated to see Ben die at the end. I'm kind of wish if they would, they had him kiss. I kind of wish they just would have let him live. But that's just the decision that the writers decided to go with. So it did kind of break my heart. Kylo was my favorite character in this season. I love Adam Driver. He's a terrific actor. Just how he can always. He seems like he's under control, but he's a madman, and he's got this anger and rage burning inside of him. He really encapsulated that and brought that to life, brought that character to life for me. So yeah, I don't get where everybody is saying that it's such a bad movie. I had a heck of a ride on it. The scene where Rey jumps up in the air and is able to take Kylo's fighter jet out with the lightsaber was freaking dope. So just a lot of good. The little monkey that helped him get C-3PO. I thought that scene was freaking righteous. It was good to see C-3PO actually have a role in the movie. I had kind of thought about that from the first two, that they kind of just had C-3PO and R2-D2 there is just like, hey, remember these guys? They didn't have any really part in the plot, so it was cool to see C-3PO them at least give him a little bit of something to add to the film. I'm trying to think of anything else that I thought was cool that stood out. I love the last scene. I love how Palpatine, freaking out of nowhere, he drains both of their forces, and you think there for a second, he shoots that freaking lightning in the sky, and you really just don't know if he's going to be able to win or not. You don't know. You don't know where these guys are going with it. The writers of it were Game of Thrones. Let's not even bring up Game of Thrones. I might do a review of that just because I brought that up. I would like to review season 8 of Game of Thrones. Piss poor ending. Rushed. But anyways, let's not get off on that tangent. Focusing back on Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker. I still didn't know, at this point towards the end of the movie, I'm like, okay, Rise of Skywalker, who's Skywalker? She's a Palpatine. And then I thought it was really cool how, Luke and Leia, their ghost projections or whatever is there with her back where it all started, and she takes on the name Skywalker. That's pretty cool. I liked it. Some fans don't like it. Some fans, the main gripe I see with this is that they say bringing Palpatine back takes away from Vader's arc in his moment. I don't necessarily completely agree with that. Because if you look how bad Vader was injured. All right, he had both his legs chopped off and was sitting by a molten fire pit, and he freaking survived. So their technology and everything in this universe, Star Wars universe, is insane. So it is within the realm of possibility that Palpatine could have lived. And they still had years and years of where Palpatine lost power, lost control. So Vader injuring him to that extent still had meaning. So I'm excited to see where they go with the franchise next. I think it's going to be a few years, but I feel like, as far as just the watchability and the and everything else, this franchise, the sequels were the best films of the franchise. Because of the fact, if you go back and watch the originals and you watch even the prequels that were made in the early 2000s, the CGI and everything just does not hold up to the test of time. Really, if you just visually, if you look at this movie, it looks like shit's really going down. You can't. It looks real. So I enjoyed the heck out of it. I thought it was great. I'm gonna give it an A. Probably not an A plus. I save A pluses for movies that really kind of move me and make me think. This movie really didn't do that, but it sure as heck entertained the crap out of me, and I loved every minute of it. So y'all be good, stay safe, and go Vols.